Okay, first YouTube video in a while. I figured I would make it. Sorry about the minor mess over here. I had family over and had video game friends over in the same day. This is my basically $50 2007, well, mid-2007, 2.4, 2.2 gigahertz MacBook Pro. It's been a great machine. I was told it had some, yep, IMNC, of course. I was told it had some flaws, and I mean, that's probably why I was even able to get it and not have it, like, you know, taken away by other bidders. Oh boy. I don't know why I turned on the light. I shouldn't have done that. I guess now you can see it now that I've adjusted that, but you can see that this is the 2.4, 2.2 gigahertz with the 2.2 Intel Core 2 Duo. 4 gigs of RAM, which is technically the max, but not really. It's got a 500 gig hard drive in it. I was told that it was only going to be 120, but it did come with 500 gig hard drive. I have the NVIDIA GeForce 8600M GT, sorry, with 128 megabytes of VRAM. That's not much. Really, that's not much. It's quite weak, but that chip is usually what kills these machines, and this one somehow didn't. When I got it, it only had 2 gigs of RAM. I fixed that real quick because I had full intent of using this as a daily, even though it's old or whatever, and, you know, Mac OS Sierra won't support it. That's okay. I did get it a brand new Psyker battery, and that has been working great. I've been getting 3 to 4 hours out of this, and I mean, I do have my, god damn it, my Surface Pro 2 in the other room that I could use, shit, but this machine runs OS 10, and that machine runs Windows, so it really is kind of what I'm feeling that day. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it's been actually a very great machine since I've got it. Was quite surprised. I was told that it had some failure with the GPU where I was going to need to either reball or reflow it, and I mean, yeah, the grills came dirty like that. Probably gonna try to clean them out. It is a little smudged. I haven't cleaned it since I got it because, unfortunately, my first task when I got it was to rip it apart as soon as possible and redo the thermal paste and avoid any of those issues. And when I did that, I'll just close it so you guys can see the lid. Nice and smooth. I still need to clean it, I know. Came with a brand new, I don't know if you can tell from this shot, it might be too bright, but official MagSafe with not a broken neck. This was actually brand new, like it still had packaging on it, like the plastic was wrapped on it, and it came with 2 of the really nice extensions. The Apple logo right there. The brick itself was not wrapped in plastic. I believe that's because they used the charger. Well, they probably swapped to a new machine because I was told that the original charger for it was shit. But, I'll just unplug it. No, the battery isn't round. This table is just, well, it's like rock. I can't remember what this is. I think it's slate. But Bottom of it's same story as the rest of it. Battery works. I mean, it works about as well as the original one ever did. Actuators don't stick like a lot of them do. Ports are nice and healthy. Yeah, I know. Need to clean the MagSafe a bit. It's not that dirty. Corner is chipped. I'm gonna replace the keyboard assembly because fuck it, it's $10. Wow, can't get a grip on it. It's too smooth. Okay, Kensington one of 2 USB ports. Firewire 400, Firewire 800, Ethernet, and DVI. And the back, you can see that those are pretty clean in there. You can tell it's been fucked with, so. And I mean, it's not like I'm getting rid of the machine, so it's not like it would matter to anybody else, but you can tell it's been cleaned out, which is a good thing because it's almost 10 years old. The Apple logo does have some minor scarring. You probably can't see it because of this damn flash, or the flash will help. Let me make a quick adjustment there. Now it focused on it. You can see that there's like a scratch across it. That scratch actually isn't in the metal. I'm thinking it's something was in the case, like the original MagSafe for it was in the case with it and got slid across it. But yeah, this is my mid-2007 Santa Rosa MacBook Pro. It does run a bit hot, but let me open Max. I know that it was just asleep. I can get it to, I can abuse it a bit so I can show what happens when I do eventually do that to it. You know, not running that hot. Obviously, it's running on the heatsink instead of the diode, because if I ran it on the diode itself, well, this'll happen. Just gets a lot noisier, and this keeps it adequately cool anyways. You don't want to run the fans too hard, or, well, you'll blow out the fans. I've done that before. And there they go, ramping up. It'll run a bit cooler with that way, except it went up a degree. I mean, 55 Celsius is not at all bad for the 8600 MGT. I mean, it's probably like 80 in here. I know I'm a psycho Arizona person, but it's like 80 in here or something right now. And, well, 80 Fahrenheit. And the die itself is only hitting like 131. So, it's not that bad. And again, I do strongly apologize for the glare of the stupid light, but it was necessary to make the video. Just because I don't have a light in this part of the living room at the moment. I'm gonna turn the brightness back down for you guys. Computer doesn't have any like graphical tearing when you do stuff like this. As for programs, well, it pulls stuff up right away. Let's see how fast this one works. Takes a second, but of course I have YouTube playing in the other room too, because I have no life, but still my favorite channel. My favorite non-entertainment channel, like Game Grumps is my favorite entertainment channel, but this is my favorite general channel. Yeah, horrible. Still pretty good music. Some Cancer. Probably shouldn't play with that while I'm on here. It's not probably good for the computer. But, I I can open iTunes, because that's a little intense for... Woo, okay. That's a little intense for machines of this age. And it opens right up. And got a bunch of different libraries, some of which aren't mine on there. But, I mean, it's been a great machine, and it actually has a companion that I've been using since my Beats got wet and haven't been functioning properly. And it got wet with the Beats, by the way. I was going to initially fix it up and sell it, but I didn't get around to that. So this is this machine's companion. This is just a mid-2012 iPad 2, 4, 16 gig, of course, because, I mean, they sold this when, like, the iPad 3 had been out a while. This was sort of just a, hey, want a cheap iPad? Like a new cheap iPad? Well, here you go. Oh, and we made a new model identifier. That works great. It's got personal information on the screen, of course. So I might have to edit that out. But other than that, this machine's been great. I paid $51 for it total. And, I mean, it's more than delivered. Like, yeah, I've had to dump some money into it, but it's been a great machine. The iPad, the only money that's really been spent on it is a case. This thing gets to ride in my luxurious Kenneth Cole bag, and, well, other than that, it either sits on its cooling mat on top of my bed. I'm not one of those idiots that sits it on the sheet. I have a Thermaltake cooling pad in the room with a giant fan on it. I don't always power it because it's got a finicky cable, but I make sure to leave this on a solid surface, or in that case, like a metal grate sort of thing that it's just sort of like hexagons on it, and, you know, just a big fan that normally glows blue when it's powered, but it just sits under this machine and makes sure it stays nice and cool, or rather not overheating and killing itself. And I mean, I really want this machine to last. I am definitely in love with it, and when this one dies, I think I might just have to get another one of these non-unibody MacBook Pros, and maybe a unibody, well, yes, definitely a MacBook Pro unibody, because I need the power. But as for the feel, I had a PowerBook G4 1.67 gigahertz high resolution that I sold to a friend of mine, and he loves it too. I just heard that the battery on it's going bad, which sucks, because I was in love with that machine. That's the machine I actually butchered a cheap old Sony Walkman, like Jelly Bean MP3 player, to basically harvest the battery out of and really make my own pram, like my own parameter RAM battery for that one. This one has just a little button cell with couple cables coming out of it, and I don't think it might be a rechargeable battery or button cell, but either way, it's a more common model, so good for that. It's not a little tiny packet that's a pain in the ass. And if it was, I would just go get another one of those shitty MP3 players and solder in the battery from it again. But this is my MacBook Pro and just some of my 16 gig iPad 2. Anyways, probably no one's gonna fucking watch this, but either way, if you do see this, I hope you enjoyed it despite the well, slight mess. I'm gonna clean it up, and I will probably revisit this machine once I've owned it for like 2 weeks or a month or something, or sooner if anybody wants me to. I also planned on reviewing lots of my other things, so I am just going to sign off here. Anyways, I I know this video is probably not going to be edited that well because I'm still getting used to things, but this machine will edit some stuff. Maybe my PowerMac G5 if I really feel like waiting a bit. I mean, both of my machines are pretty nice, but yeah, I think this is just going to be a basic upload for now, and I think only time will tell if I get good at this or not. Anyways, thanks guys. Like and subscribe if you want. Or don't. I mean, if you don't, that works too. Or share it. Sharing it works great. Anyways, I've said goodbye like 3 or 4 times now. I'm going to sign off. Thank you.